All right, we are back here. I'm Matty Marshall. I'm with Todd Martinez. NCPA championships here in Lakeland, Florida. We're about to watch the Yukon Huskies going to be taking on the University of Nebraska Omaha in what should be an intense battle because, you know, the favorites right now is definitely Nebraska Omaha. And Yukon, they've had a lot of success before here at the collegiate level. They've won championships. They've changed, you know, a lot of their they've had a lot of different lineups over the years, but they had a great comeback win yesterday, and I'm interested to see, because basically, you know, Nebraska hasn't even had a game yet. I mean, every single game they've played, they've just been destroying every single person they played, and I'm really hoping that Yukon is going to actually play some aggressive paintball against them.
Well, I'm definitely excited to see. I mean, Yukon is pumped. They want it. I mean, they're ready for University of Omaha, you know, so.
Yeah, I know. I talked to them earlier, and they were very, very much excited for this matchup. They've been scouting Omaha, and here we go. You're looking at Omaha right now on your screen there in the red and black, and Yukon is in the gray, white, and black. And look at this big move in the center by Brian Bortle. Both teams are in the center right now with good field position, and Brian Todd has just been feasting up in there all event long.
Yeah, he really likes that Xbox. I mean, I think a couple more teams. We saw Long Beach really utilizing that spot. I mean, it's a great spot. Brian Bortle with a clear shot just misses the Yukon player diving out to that Dorito 1, but 1G, or actually 2Gs. Phil Kank shoots a Blair off the snake side. He's running off, and Phil takes off towards the yellow section.
Yeah, you look at Phil right now. He's going to get into snake 1. So far, crisp, methodical moves from Omaha. And that's what we've seen all event long, Todd. These guys have really been dominating, and they've been doing it with smart, aggressive, methodical play.
Yeah, they don't let the fact that Yukon tried to go up the hard up the middle on them, you know, stray them from what they're trying to do. You know, they know who they need to shoot, what angles they need to work, what players they need to pick on. And, you know, that player up the center, he's going to be the last body alive if everybody on Yukon dies.
Oh, so Tony Costa gets shot for Yukon. It looks like Brian Bortle. Okay, so I think the point was conceded by Yukon.
Zach Sherman walking off the field. Phil Kank. Brian Bortle got shot there at the end, but, you know, 1-0 early lead for University of Omaha.
Yeah, let's check out this replay, Todd. And you're looking at this Tony Costa in the center for Yukon, and you see Vicious making that move into the 40-yard line, Dorito, and then Tony just takes one right there on his loader, trying to get something done out of there, but there's not much he could do. You know, there is a lot of different, there's a lot of different spots you can move from in the center, but it's just such a dominant spot as far as, you know, breaking past the 50-yard line and also shooting those edges out. You know, paintball is a game of angles. You need to be getting as much forward progress as you possibly can so you can get those crossfield shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what Yukon definitely doesn't want to do right now is, you know, pull back. They want to stay aggressive. They came out here hungry. You know, they can't lose the first point and then, you know, lose that energetic momentum that they had. You know, they came out here pumped. They're in their circle. You know, they're pushing, and you know, they need to stay aggressive here, not start giving in to the University of Omaha right away.
Yeah, and we've been saying this all weekend long. You have to fight fire with fire. So Yukon, they should have watched the games that Omaha, Nebraska has played and known what they're doing. They're going up in the, they're not doing, it's not rocket science what they're doing. It's just good, solid, fundamental paintball. They know that they can, you know, have Brian run up the center. Now, Brian typically is their snake player. You know, Brian's one of the first guys in the snake, but they recognized early on that the snake is not the best spot on the field. It can be dominant, but you have to take the guns off the snake side in order to get players in there. Phil's been doing a great job of getting in there secondary, and then also we can't forget about the Dorito side of the field.
Yeah, my dude Phil Kank, he's a boss. You know, he's playing it really, really smart. You know, he's one of my favorite players to watch, you know, on the Vicious team, and out here he's come out doing a great job for the University of Omaha.
Yeah, so 5 players alive for both teams right now. Vicious, or Omaha, Nebraska doubling up that back center. And now we're looking at Yukon side of the field, and they have a player in that oh-so-important yellow zone there in the center as player for Omaha trying to get out on that Dorito side, and now you're looking at Yukon. They're doubling up that back center, and this is Brian Bortle. Brian Bortle stuck in that back center, tries to dig out all the way to the back corner, and he gets eaten up trying to make it out there, and here comes Phil Kank. He's able to make it into the yellow zone, and he's rolling his gun. You can see by his body language he wants to get into that snake, Todd.
Yeah, Yukon players are dying wholesale over here. Costco memberships being handed out.
Yeah, and that puts Zach Sherman just up the center, and here comes Phil.
Oh, takes a bouncer, but he probably should have left on that first one because now
Yeah.
he's going to get Zach Sherman in the face.
Yeah, so Zach Sherman makes doubly sure that that back center player is eliminated. And here, man, it's just Nebraska dominant right now.
Yeah, 2-0 lead. You know, 2-0, you never want to get down more than, a couple points in one of these tight games with good teams. But, 3-0 is going to be a deficit. UConn probably going to want to get it together.
Yeah, look at this replay here. And this is Brian Bortle. Look at that running and gunning. And he realizes at the last second that he's going to have to stop. And he gets shot in the barrel on the dive in. Uncharacteristic for Brian to be getting shot, moving out like that. But you know what, though? He hasn't normally been coming out to that bunker particularly.
No, he hasn't. He's been all about that Xbox as well as the tall temple on the snake side, that big yellow one.
All right, so it looks like Laura has a little bit of info for us. Laura, break it down.
Thank you, Maddie. And yes, this UConn pit saying, hey, don't bother telling us what their breakout is because they're doing the same thing every single time. Still, they're having a little bit of trouble stopping them, as we've seen. They also say from the UConn side of things, they want to develop more of a snake presence. They think they could have some success there. Maddie, what do you think?
Well, they really need to go to school at this point. They should have watched all these games and known exactly what Bortle and his crew are doing out there. Now, I've noticed they've changed it up slightly, and I think that, like we had Brian run out, so he didn't work for him. But I think maybe, do you think, Todd, that Nebraska is going to change some stuff up here, maybe especially if they get up a couple points, just so not to show their hand? Or do you think they don't even care at this point?
I beat a team 13-0. I'm not changing anything. That move wasn't a breakout move for Brian. Brian shot, and then decided that he wanted to go to the side instead of forward. I don't think we'll see Brian make that move many more times here. I think he's going to continue to attack straight ahead. But, that was just, a decision that he made on the fly. He got shot in the barrel going out there. It was a cool shot to watch the paint, spiral off. But, see that shell open up. But UConn really, they're the ones that should have been taking notes from the other teams that caught whoopings. Omaha, you can go to that little temple where the player is right now for UConn, or the little mini race bunker and try and lock down that Dorito side. But the fact of the matter is, you're not going to be able to lock down that side. As you dedicate that gun there, you're just going to wait for Brian Bortle to wrap and shoot that guy in the back, which, is probably going to happen here sometime soon, especially without a whole lot of people on the snake side.
Yeah, look at this. And Brian's been doing this all weekend long. Let's see if he can actually, look at this. Brian Bortle on the run through. Brian Bortle making it look easy, just chopping people up. Gets one, gets two. Let's see if he can get three. He does, he gets three. Let's see if he can get a four-pack here. And Brian Bortle, just complete domination here in the center as he is going to run down the last player and make his presence felt here for Omaha, Nebraska. Man, Brian Bortle's on fire right now.
So you think he's still going to run out to that corner anymore?
Why? Brian, we're just going to give you a little bit of advice. Just keep going up the center, bro. Keep going up the center.
If they ain't stopping you.
Yeah, I ain't stopping you. All right, here it is right here. This is Brian Bortle, and he's going to get ready to launch. And he's he's on his side of the field. He streaks past the 50-yard line here and runs down that last player. So, at that point, he already had 3 kills. That was number 4. It doesn't get any better than that. Nice job.
Bortol. Nice to meet you.
Bortle. Remember the
20.
name.
Number 20, right here. How you doing? Yeah, excellent play from Brian Bortle. Let's see UConn. They're still jumping around. They're still, they're still dapping each other up. You guys got to turn that into some plays. But, like I was trying to get at, why would you keep running to those same spots that you've just seen all these other teams get chopped up from? Like UConn, they had to have been playing well yesterday to make that comeback. But
they did. They were playing real well, I felt.
Maybe they were getting productivity from those spots against the other teams, but I watched Omaha play a couple games now, and the teams that run to those spots, they just get bunkered. It was like what, from the time we started talking about that, about 5-6 seconds later.
Yeah.
Where Brian just took off, and then that guy was.
Well, here's another thing I don't understand is that Brian is they are letting Brian Bortle do whatever he wants to do in that center. And when you're getting beat by one person, now look, I don't want to take anything away from any of the other guys on that team. Obviously, Phil's playing great. Kid playing up the Dorito side, Pike, he's playing great as well. Zach Sherman is always playing well. They're playing all those guys are playing great paintball, but Brian is just putting on a display here in the center. And if that's happening, put a gun back there. Just run a guy out and just shoot up the center to keep Brian Bortle from just going up there and playing jazz.
Yeah, I mean, he's just shooting from the back center. You know, they shot 2 bodies. Zach Sherman again. Sherman and Pike shooting towards that Dorito side.
And
shot 2 bodies on the break.
Here it is again. Look, unstoppable is Brian Bortle. It's like put a gun on him. There's multiple spots that can shoot that lane. It's not rocket science. He's not doing anything too crazy. He's just doing it really, really effectively and really well.
Yeah, and Phil Kang isn't even coming all the way out, you know, to the corner early. I mean, he's been going to that small temple, you know, the first temple out on the snake side because it's makeable, and then he can slow play it, you know, because they're shooting bodies on the break. He can just be alive and not risk the body going to the corner. But, I mean, these guys getting wide, that's what really opens it up for Zach and Brian to come through.
Oh, look at that. Nice shot by Brian Bortle. Just owns the back corner and then wraps around. And then it's just another feeding frenzy for Brian Bortle as he's going to run through and put it on the last player. So it's just Brian Bortle having a lot of fun out there, honestly, right now. I want to be Brian Bortle at this point. Just making it look easy, running down the field, getting 3-4 kills a point. I mean,
yeah. It's like they're serving it up, you know. Just, here you go.
Yeah, just setting down, just putting a giant softball on a tee for Brian Bortle. And here he is, right here. Look, he's getting his fingers ready. And he got that kill. And as soon as he gets that kill, he launches. He knows exactly where the last player is. And he's going to make a feel it right here. Bam, puts 3 or 4 on him to finish him off. And I'll tell you what, if I'm on the sidelines and I'm Liberty or I'm Cal State right now, I'm honestly I'd be talking to everyone like, look, man, we're going to have to step it up to beat these guys tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, you know where he wants to come. He's coming through the same spot. He's coming through the same bunkers every single time. Either we need to get up there with him,
yeah,
or we need to try and shut him down.
Pounding on the table, fight fire with fire. It's a simple concept. That's what needs to happen. But quick, we got Laura Keeman on the sidelines right now. Laura, what's going on?
Hey guys, we're talking about Brian Bortle and of course just inflicting pain out there, doing his thing. But he walks back into the pit and acts like it's just another day at work, another day in the office. He's so nonchalant about what he's able to do. It's impressive to watch, just kind of walking off the field like, oh yeah, that's just normal for me.
Well, he is, I mean, we know Brian, me and Todd know Brian real well. He's a really nice guy. He's a nice college kid, you know, just super humble and really likable personality, and I know this is kind of what he does. Paintball is his thing, you know, I mean.
Yeah, he's a good kid, you know, he's not as...
Again, on your screen now. Again, this game is not over. I mean, man, we still got 5 minutes and 42 seconds left here in the first half. However, the way that Nebraska has just been dominating every single team that they've played, and we haven't seen anything out of UConn, it's just been a lot of this. It's been a lot of this. Brian Bortle just kind of running around and doing whatever the hell he is that he wants to do here in the center of the field. And he catches another guy. Has another kill for Brian. And, I mean, those are guys that Brian shouldn't be getting that kill, you know? I mean, how is that guy getting shot by Brian right now?
I don't know. I mean, UConn, they're barely even getting out on that Dorito side. The guy just slides into Dorito, too, on the yellow portion of the field. I mean, this is the farthest we've seen them get up here at all. I mean, the thing is about these guys is that they're very disciplined. You know, Zach's sitting back there. They're getting good kills on the break, and then they're holding their lanes really well. UConn doesn't look like they can go anywhere, you know, and then you're just setting the tee for Brian Bortle to walk up and just hit, you know, 400-yard shots.
Just
you know,
laser beam shots as he gets another kill. I wish we had, you know, we're doing statistics now for paintball on the PSP. If you go to paintballaccess.com and check out the stats we're doing, I would love to see what Brian's kill count is right now, man. He's on fire. I guarantee you, he's probably, I mean, just in the, what have we seen, 4 or 5 points, 5 points now at this point. I think I would want to venture to say he might have 20 kills by now.
I want to say that for the weekend, he's probably in triple digits.
Oh, for sure. Look at this. Here's Brian Bortle. He's going to get this quick kill on the Dorito right there. And I don't know if we'll see from this angle if you can actually see it. But, you know, he had already got another kill. There it is right there. Just owns the kid in the gunfight and then puts a couple more on him as he's coming out. And Brian Bortle is just making it look like he was born to play this game right now.
They've
played smooth.
They've played this is their 5th match of the event, I believe. Mm-hmm. In each game, they've won 9, you know, scored 9, 10, 13 points. He's playing every point.
Yeah, every point.
I mean, he's getting at least a couple kills a game. If not a kill, I mean, I would say he's got to be averaging at least 2 kills, you know, and 50 points for the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he shot 4 guys.
Well, let's just count
ago.
right now. He had 4 the other game. I think he had 3 the point before this. He had 2 on this one. So we're looking at, and that's 9 kills and 3 points.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Now, just so you could kind of take this with a little bit of perspective, the kill count leader right now in the PSP is Marcelo Margot and Ryan Martin. So Marcelo from the Russians and Ryan from the Ironman. And if you go to paintballaccess.com, you can actually see these statistics. And they're averaging 1.07 kills a point. Brian is averaging about, I'd say, 2.5 to 3. So we're looking at 2 to 3 times what the lead leaguer is in the professional leagues. Now, Brian actually plays, and I can't remember where Brian is on the list of the 112 pro players that there are in the league. But man, I'll tell you what, this is a good warm-up for him next weekend.
Sure is. You know, way to have a little confidence builder before you step into the main stage again and go back at it. And they played really well in Texas, so you know, I expect to see them, you know, with their last 2 prelim games and finish the Texas event on Thursday.
And there's Brian now coming out onto the snake side of the field again. Didn't work out so well for him in pretty much the only hiccup that he has had today when he got shot in the barrel trying to run out there 3 or 4 points ago. Score is now 5-0, and it's been all Nebraska Omaha.
Yeah,
UConn hasn't even got past the 30-yard line Dorito yet, I don't think.
I believe Pike takes one in the goggles over in that tall tower on the Dorito side of the field. He's going to walk off. Maybe he'll be happy he can get a little break, come back, have water, enjoy it. They've been everybody alive on the field.
Yeah, Nebraska is, they've run in a skeleton crew. I think they only have 6 guys, Todd.
Yeah, 6 guys, you know, but these dudes, they're well conditioned. You know, they're all some young, energetic fellas. You know, Brian Bortle, he's got to be, I think he's 20 years old. I don't think he's even 21 yet.
Which is pretty scary considering how good he is now.
Yeah.
And so we'll see as things progress and his career progresses. I mean, you know, obviously in playing in the PSP and you know, like I said, we have a Phoenix event coming up next weekend, so make sure you check out that webcast, 19th through the 22nd. We got 4 days of action coming at you there.
Brian Bortle stepping out wide on the wires. You get that nice long snake shot. You can get the perspective. Brian trying to use that space to get a shot on the UConn player. I mean, no pressure on Brian, really, whatsoever.
Yeah, he just, the referee's going to get out there and check him out, but Brian, I honestly, if he gets shot back here, he'd probably come off at this point. There's no reason with this team up, so many bodies. Oh, another kill for UConn here. So UConn is able to take out University of Nebraska Omaha's last player on the Dorito side of the field. So right now, Todd, they only have 3 players, and they're all in the blue back area as you're looking at UConn trying to do something with this numerical advantage. Well, actually, is it 3-on-3, Todd?
Yeah, I believe it's a 3-on-3. UConn now moves up into the A, the Dorito 2, and they also have the Snake 1. And you can see the Vicious players, Brian in the corner, as UConn tries to make a move. Maddie, we've talked about this before. You can't make moves like that by yourself. You need to make coordinated moves with your team, especially in low body scenarios. You can't afford to just give away a body like that. As Phil Kank runs out of paint, comes and hangs out with Brian Bortle, grabs a pod. I mean, that should not happen in a 3-on-3.
No.
You know, you shouldn't be able to run over to your boy's bunker. Hey, dog.
Hey, hook me up with a, hey, you got a pot of paint? Yeah, sweet. All right, let me just load it real quick,
cool.
and then I'm just going to run back. I want to see the replay of that. That's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be able to come all the way out of your bunker, run over to your boy, grab his last pod, because Bortle's out of paint too.
Zach Sherman, you know, that UConn player threw away his body. Zach Sherman was able to bump from the back center all the way out to the corner.
Yeah, look at
Shoots
this.
the 50 Dorito from UConn in the grill piece, and now he's going to finish it off. Brian Bortle, ooh, try this new hairstyle out.
Oh, UConn is they're struggling. They're trying, man. They are definitely trying. And the crowd is starting to turn on the University of Nebraska.
The Omaha bird flew over.
So we're looking at that new hairstyle that Brian Bortle hooked up UConn with. And let's check out this replay. And so that's a snake player for UConn. He's going to come in. So look at this. This should not happen. Phil comes over. He's like, hey, bro, you got an extra pot of paint? Sweet, okay. Oh, the snake player is going to come out of me? Okay, I'm going to dodge that paintball. I'm just going to run back to my bunker. That's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be able to do that. But they do. They're doing stuff you're not supposed to be able to do right now. They're making it look easy.
Yeah, and they're making it look 6-0.
I mean, we're still in the first half right now. There's 1 minute and 34 seconds left here, and it's just been nothing but Nebraska just pounding Connecticut. And you're looking at the remnants of Brian Bortle's paintballs
Let's see if we can get Laura to go over to UConn.
Let's check out this replay here. And you're looking at, this is that last kill. And this is Zach Sherman. He's on the Dorito side of the field. And then there comes Brian Bortle running down that last player and giving him a little Mohawk streak, a little suggestion. There he is. They need to wipe him off. He's probably got to get out there and play next point. You only have, so in case you guys are tuning in, 10-minute halves. We have a 2-half structure here. Highest point total at the end of regulation wins. There's major and minor penalties. You have 1-minute minors, 2-minute majors. And then you see him there. He's trying to style it up. Little Brian Bortle there in the Mohawk. And the thing is you only have 2 minutes in between points to get yourself ready for the next point.
Did he just turn getting lumped into the head into a fashionable haircut?
I think he did.
He just turned a dome shot from Brian Bortle into a faux hawk.
When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? And I guess that's what he's trying to do. It. Yeah.
When Brian Bortle
double doses your head, you just, with some extra evil nastiness, you just turn it into a faux hawk.
No, bro, I wanted it like that. I meant to do that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Goes with my undershirt.
Did he already have a mohawk to start with?
No, I think he was just going, you know, flat-haired. I don't think he was trying to style it, but, I mean, lemons.
Looks pretty good, man.
Faux hawks.
Looks pretty good with those, you know.
Yeah, he's got a little
the trendy beard,
little yellow earring too, to go along with it. Probably from Brian Bortle as well. He's a generous guy.
So it looks like a timeout called here. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's a UConn timeout, and it looks like Laura. What's going on down there? Do you got any information for us? What's going on UConn?
Guys, it's not pretty in the UConn pit, but they're still trying to stay as positive as possible and saying, hey, let's go ahead and start playing this like it's already the second half. They want to come out there with more aggression, and they realize what Bortle's doing. They just can't figure out a way to stop him. Also, they're going out there with not enough paint, so they're going to try to go out there a little more prepared next time and make sure they've got the ball so they can shoot some people. Guys?
I don't understand why you wouldn't go out with enough paint. Come on. We're heading into the later part of this competition. Here we got 2 more games. Well, we have this game and then 1 more game coming at you. It's going to be a Florida versus Florida battle. University of Florida Gators going to be taking on Florida Atlantic University Owls. That's coming up after the conclusion of this match. We still have 1 minute and 34 seconds left to play in the first half here, and it's just been all Nebraska 6-0, Todd.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to, run somebody to that A and stand there and wait for Brian Bortle to come through.
I would go on a Brian Bortle killing spree right now if I was UConn. I would just hunt him. He's pretty easy to spot. He's got that red beanie. He's the only player on the team with the red beanie.
I mean, Omaha has been doubling up that back center. Just step somebody right out on that side and shoot right back at Brian Bortle. Either make him tuck in or, as Phil dies for the first time on the break, Brian Bortle on the fill out. Oh, and UConn does go up to that A. Let's see if they can keep Brian Bortle at bay in Phil's bunker, that first temple on the snake side of the field.
It's Tony Costa up there. It's the 8-year veteran is the super duper senior from UConn. And he's actually always been one of their standout players. He's very good at paintball. And he's on the right-hand portion of your screen there, right behind the A.
And UConn shoots another player on the fill out. 3 bodies. The first time UConn's playing with 5 guys alive. You know, got their guns up and rolling. Laura just had to tell him that it was the second half and they were about to lose this match and go home. So into the 50 Dorito, into Snake 1. UConn trying to find some life.
They need it right now, Todd.
With 40 seconds, make sure you get this point. You can't let Omaha run this last 30 seconds off. You got 5 on 2. You need to make a move, make a coordinated effort.
Yeah, and here they come with that coordinated fight as they have 4 players now all bunched up from the center of the field onto the Dorito side as Tony Costa digs underneath that A in the center. You can see that right-hand portion of your screen. And but they're starting to get chopped up. Still Zach Sherman left alive, and Zach Sherman is just handling business right now. UConn throwing away what could have been a great opportunity to score a point, and I think there still is going to be Zach Sherman. Look at Zach Sherman. Wow.
Yeah, last man standing.
God, that is just, I mean, if you're, okay, that's pretty much the final straw. I don't care if we have a whole second half of play and it's only 7-0 at this point, because when you got a Zach Sherman putting his team on his back like that with, okay, Brian Bortle dies, Phil dies off the break. Everybody dies off the break, and it looks like, what was it, 4-on-2, and Zach Sherman steps up. But let's check out Brian Bortle here getting shot here on the replay. You can see those paintballs streaming in from the other side of the field, and he's going to come out and just take one right there. Brian should have had a little bit more of awareness at that point, because as you could see, there was, a lot of paint coming through that zone.
Yeah, he was really just trying to fight off all those guys. I mean, it was actually a 5-on-2. The first guy that died came out of the snake over here. Not exactly sure. Pike might have shot him from that tall temple, but I mean, low body situations like that, you just can't throw those away.
No, you cannot throw those away. All right, so let's see. Hey, Connecticut did show a little bit of signs of life, though they ended up losing that point. The score is now 7-0. We do have a whole second half of competition coming at you next. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez and Laura Keeman here on the NCPA Championships. Do not go anywhere.
Things to do with Empire paintballs. You can paint a picture. You can paint a fence. You can paint your friend. But know that the paint will not remain, and Empire Paintball strives to reduce the impact of paintballs on the environment. Our RPS Advanced Formula Fill materials are all listed on the GRAS, Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act list, and will not negatively affect drinking water, water table, or the field environment. Shoot the best, and know that Empire Paintball works hard to protect our planet.
When my child sees this, she's gonna be like, "What the are you doing? I'm trying to feed you, baby. Chop, please."
Just think, somewhere, some poor kid is playing a video game.
We've just done a lot to make the loader smaller, lighter, tighter, simpler, more reliable, more consistent, just a better product in almost every single way. It is the lightest force feed loader of its type on the market. It's also now, with this smaller body profile, the smallest force feed loader on the market. Everything's taken care of automatically by the sensors in the loader. Put it on your gun, play paintball.
Welcome back to Lakeland, Florida. The sun is coming out, and we are here for the National Collegiate Paintball Championships. Nebraska of Omaha putting a stomping on UConn so far. We're going into the second half, but it's 6-0 right now. And I just listened into the Nebraska of Omaha pit. Brian Bortles saying, I don't care if they come down the center. I'm going to still keep doing what I'm doing up the middle. And obviously, he's been successful there. Also, some of these guys saying we've got to communicate better, even better than we already are. We should rely on each other. We should be able to have headphones in, listening to music, and still know what each other is doing out there on the field. Guys?
Well, thanks, Laura. And that's some experienced paintball right there. If you're looking at a game in which you're beating a team by a substantial difference in points, and you're still looking for perfection, well, that goes to show you that their heads are in the right place.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, Brian knows that all these guys, like, they've had their same core players for a long time, the Vicious team has, you know, and those guys being Zach Sherman, Brian Bortle, you know, Phil Kank's been there for a little bit now. I mean, he's right. You know, they know what each other are doing, you know, and they're all versatile, experienced players. They know what they can get away with, and that's why they keep running the same play, you know, because they're going to put themselves in good positions to shoot people on the break. They're going to be disciplined enough to hold their lanes. That's why they're not running out of paint. They're shooting their lanes, and then, you know, they know where they can read what UConn's doing and play off of that.
No, absolutely. So look at here on the breakout, doubling up that back center. Oh, they lose Phil Conk over here on the snake side of the field, and still have two players as Brian Bortle is going to have to try to get out of that back center. He's rolling his gun, though. He's trying to get a shot on UConn, who's trying to get out on the snake side, too. And now Brian is able to get out. And then here, UConn making a move into snake one, but Brian tears him apart.
Yeah, if you're UConn and you shoot that first guy off the snake side, you need to know that you have to go lock that side of the field off. Well, that's, you know, Brian Bortle has never gone anywhere else besides that back center shooting this way. You have to get up the field, and you have to shoot him filling out. You can't let him, with one guy, control your two guys on this side of the field and get out. You know, he put in the back center and Phil Kank's old mirror and made his bump into Kank's old spot.
Yeah, well, you know, that was Walsh over there for UConn, and, you know, Walsh was such an impressive player yesterday, and I thoroughly was kind of blown away in that comeback victory that they had, right? And we haven't said his name once, you know, Connor Walsh. I mean, he was such a standout yesterday, and then he's just being completely shut down by Omaha. Oh, look at this. Brian Bortle catches one, so now Brian Bortle off the field for Nebraska Omaha, and here comes UConn able to get in the 50-yard line. Snake, and he's going to wrap around, possibly get a shot on the back center. He almost gets that shot, but he just misses it. Nope, then he clips his back of his harness where he keeps his extra paintballs. He gets shot there, and Zach Sherman's going to come off, so just one player left alive. So here we go, first point of our second half. A lot of time off the clock, though. 8 minutes and 13 seconds left to play in this game, Todd.
Yeah, trying to reload. Raby comes up right away and puts one in his goggles. So, I mean, great way to start off the first half, or the second half over here. Getting into that snake, getting a body killed right away from the snake side of the field. But, I mean, that's just one, all right? You know, if you can use that to try and start building some momentum. But you got 8 minutes playing against a very solid University of Omaha team. They need to start winning some points pretty quick over here if they're going to make a comeback.
Yeah, quick points is the operative word here. With the score 6-1, they have a situation where with sad, just under 8 minutes to go. I mean, they're going to have to score those quick points, and that's, you know, they've only been able to put one on, and, you know, honestly, they got a couple quick kills there that really helped them out. So, but Connecticut, they have the ability to play aggressive. I just, you know, I understand that they are being shut down and just kind of beat at the fundamentals of the game, but they've got to get an aggressive game plan going. They're just not utilizing that at all right now. Let's check out this replay, Todd. Go talk us through this.
Well, here we have the UConn player bumping all the way out, coming into the snake one, knowing that there's nobody on this side of the field. Coach tells him to jump up real quick, come straight into the 50. Wasting no time. He's going to lean around the 50 part of that snake and shoot Zach Sherman in the pack out of that back center, opening the game up for UConn to get their first point.
Yeah, well, thank God that they actually got on the board for them. Let's see if they can keep it up. Laura, what's going on down there, huh?
Guys, of course, UConn hoping to build on that momentum, but they're bringing attention to the fact that they think Nebraska of Omaha is tired. Now, we did talk about the fact that this Nebraska team is not terribly deep, although their players are well conditioned. So, I don't know, maybe UConn has a point there, but I still feel like Nebraska of Omaha does have that condition factor, even if they don't have the depth. What do you guys think?
Oh, I think they are tired. Because it's hard damn work being this good. You know what I'm saying? This is tough out here. It is hard putting whoopings on somebody like that when you're just standing over them and beating them.
Just throwing ones and twos all round long.
Of course you're going to get tired just a little bit. You know how that goes.
Yeah, so they only have 6 guys, but they're used to this. These guys practice and they play at the top level of the game on earth. So, you know, wouldn't surprise me if they would be able to, you know, go through this entire weekend and still be fine.
Yeah, Brian Bortle takes one in the goggles on the break.
Yeah.
He runs off. Him and Phil actually switched spots. You know, maybe Phil thought that he was a little tired when couldn't get out to that spot, got shot a couple times, so they sent Brian out first, and Phil's there, still in the back center, cutting down these lanes.
But UConn losing 2 players too, Todd.
Yeah, UConn down, but still have a body advantage as they shoot Phil Kank out of the back center. So 3 players now for UConn.
Connor Walsh.
Actually, 3 still alive. It's a 3-on-3. But
UConn.
UConn.
Be 2. Oh my God, 2 of them. So UConn, this is a perfect example. UConn looks pretty good, and all of a sudden 2 guys step right around their bunkers, right into Pike's gun.
Well, this is the difference between guys like Brian Bortle and that player right there. It was a 3-on-3, you know, and then instead of trying to help his teammate continue to go down the wire, he comes all the way to the inside and goes to that tiny little laydown bunker in the middle of the field. When was the last time you saw Brian Bortle from the back center shoot 2 guys and then go run and dive in that tiny little laydown? You know what I mean?
Doesn't happen.
Go straight up to the big bunkers. You know, go to the spots where you can continue to shoot people. You know, you have this whole side of the field open, and you have a snake player that just dove in. Give him 10 seconds just to at least crawl to the 50 and shoot out the guys that are, you know, helpless against him. But, you know, that's a communication thing. Again, not talking. Brian Bortle gave them a hint at halftime. Like, I don't care if they do come up the middle. I'm going to continue to go up the middle. You know, that was like, you know, the way if you want to try and stop me, then you should probably try and come up the middle too.
Yeah, but they haven't done that.
And they haven't done it.
Not at all, really. I mean, they've kind of tried to go up a little, and maybe it's more of on a stunt, like on a secondary move, not the primary aggressive push that they need to get up in there like Brian Bortle's doing. And like we just said, and I'm pounding on the table again, fight fire with fire. When you have a guy guy's coming down the snake on you, what do you got to do? You got to get in the snake. Somebody's dominating on the Dorito side, running down, gunfighting his way into spots. Well, you got to put somebody else over there that's going to check that aggression. You know, and there's a couple of ways to do that. You can either literally put someone head up with him and get that guy down the field first, so he has to worry about that guy, or you get somebody in the center of the field or at another bunker whose whole job is just to contain that player. Go out and shoot a bunch of pods at him, gunfight with him, and keep him from just running down the field.
Yeah, you've said it before. You need to come out here and impose your will, you know? And if that doesn't work and these guys make adjustments, you have to make in-game adjustments. If none of that works, just do what they're doing. You know?
Yeah.
Do what they're doing.
Just put it.
It's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, put a guy to go heads up with Brian Bortle. You know, make him beat that guy.
Yeah.
But don't just continue to let him, you know, shoot from the back center, standing over the top of that thing, and then run unabated through the middle of the field, point after point after point.
After point after point.
You know, they ran a guy to the middle of the field one time, and he looked the wrong way. Here he goes again.
All right, so maybe they are heeding our advice.
Okay.
Let's see what he does, though. Oh, look at this, Brian. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Brian, they're starting to put guns on Brian. If you want, you have to neutralize the killers. And it looks like, hopefully, UConn is figuring out that they have to put guns back at Brian Bortle, who's in that back center, just rolling his gun off the break, and he's been doing that all game long. So finally, Brian Bortle off the field, 4 players left for Vicious.
Yeah, good job by UConn. That's actually the 3rd or 4th game now that they've shot that bunker out on the break. So they got some good shots dialed in, but they need to make something out of it.
So UConn, exactly, makes something out of it. So look at this. So UConn, he's playing out here kind of in the blind area in the center right-hand portion of your screen right there in the red zone. Well, he's actually on the edge of the red zone and the yellow zone, but he's out kind of a little off that bunker. And what he's doing is he's shutting down the snake side of the field. His gun is shooting towards the snake side of the field. You see the flag right there as well. And what he's doing is he's keeping Omaha from getting into the snake or getting up on that side. But what that's going to do, oh, look at that. I think he might have chewed him up. Nice. That was an amazing job. Nice job by UConn. I'm not sure that is. I can see his numbers. We can get his name checked in here because he's doing a great job. He's got 2 He's got 1 kill for sure, and I'm not sure who shot Brian, because Brian got shot off the break. And I think they finally decided to put a gun back. Oh, and it's just...
See, that's the thing right there. Why take that big bite? You know, you're looking Phil Kank in the face, okay? Put him in and come to the can. Come to the can, put him in, come to the can, turn over again, you know, try and go bunker to bunker. These guys trying to make these big moves, running, you know, to 3 bunkers up on the field. It's not going to work for you, not against these guys.
Oh, you know, and the problem is that Omaha has so much depth. They have so much depth. You know, you've been hearing us say Brian Bortles' name a lot because he's got a red beanie, he's really good, and he's been running through the center of the field and bunkering a ton of people. So we got to talk about him. However, the other guys on that team are also playing really good right now.
Yeah, Zach, this is what, you know, we talked about Omaha before. You know, Zach, he's like, he's their leader, you know, he's their captain, you know, but he doesn't talk a lot, you know, he makes noise with his gun.
Yeah.
You know, and he's just been sitting in that back center just chopping that Dorito side to bits.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's where it starts, honestly. I mean, UConn shot out the snake side of the field a few times now, but Sherman just game after game after game is shooting a guy on that side and shooting the filler. You know, the guys that are playing on that side of the field are doing a good job, too, of just being alive, being patient and talking, but, I mean, those kills on the break are huge every time.
Yeah, let's check out this replay. So that was that player right here. He's in the center, and he just went to sleep, man. He basically got tunnel vision on that snake side of the field, and then he's just going to get shot in the pack. And the thing that, well, that's actually, it's a great angle. He got shot 5 or 6 times. But the thing is that he really kind of blew it there because he had, well, he didn't say he blew it, but he had to deal with the snake. But that guy already shot someone off the Dorito side. He already shot someone through that lane that he just got shot through. So that's another thing. If you know that a certain side is clean, you really got to be careful because maybe that's the side. Maybe he should have gone up to that side of A and started wrapping around and then getting some kills from there.
Yeah, well, the other thing, too, is if you're way up there in the middle, what helps you out is getting guys up the wires. You know, his snake guy, he tried to make the move but went too far. You know, they still had a guy on that Dorito side. I mean, that Dorito guy's got to get up there. You know, he's honestly the guy that needs to protect him. You know, if you got a guy up front, I mean, it's fundamental paintball. Back guys protect the front guys.
Yeah, that's
you know
paintball 101 right there.
Somebody's got to be looking for that.
All right, start of this next point here. Score is 8-1 with 5 minutes left to play in this game. And Bortle now all the way to the bunk. Oh, and he's going to get shot. So he's going to come off
and UConn players looking up the field. A couple guys got hit. One guy got hit on the break. There's another shot in the goggles for the UConn player. I think one of those players.
It's Connor Walsh again. Connor Walsh, who was so stunning in their comeback from behind victory against Purdue yesterday. We're not saying his name a lot today. Hasn't really been able to do much over here in the center on the snake side of the field.
Yeah, the kill counts aren't very high for any of the UConn players right now.
Yeah, no.
You know, there's always got to be, somebody's got to step up. You know, somebody's got to try and get something done over here. And, you know, these guys are struggling on every side of the field.
Well, it's paintball, man. Well, honestly, you know, it's a pretty simple game. It just is, you need to go out and shoot as many guys as you possibly can before you die.
Yeah, and I think they got that whole concept a little backwards. And die a whole bunch.
Well, die a whole bunch. Well, the fight's starting to go out of them. I mean, look at the body language. You can see the body language. We're looking at Vicious, but look at the body language right now on these guys.
Kicking
They've
pods.
They're kicking pods. They got hairs full of paint that they're going to have to spend at least 15 minutes shampooing out. They got a little extra in there, and it's tough, man. I mean, they really feel this loss. They already feel the loss. I mean, look at that. I mean, you totally see that. All right, let's check out this replay right here. This is gunfights going down here on the Dorito side, and oh, Costa, did he shoot him? It looked like he shot right behind him, and then Costa gets shot. So Costa was trying to get that shot on the Vicious player. I think that might have been Pike on his way out, and then he just gets obliterated.
Yeah, we've seen that time and time again, though. You know, that's why I really don't think that those are very good spots on the field.
Look at those neck welts, bro.
You know, but, I mean, great job by Vicious, too, to have support. You know, that's the type of support that I'm talking about. You know, when your guy goes, your front guy goes, your back guy comes out and starts looking for hoppers, elbows,
hoppers,
elbows,
tips of feet, whatever, man.
Costa, I mean, he saw the guy, he freaked out, he came out real wide to shoot him because he missed him on his initial stream, and then he took about 4 balls to the face and another 10 to the back walking off.
Yeah, which puts our score 9-1. That was a great shot there, and then you could see Costa's neck welts. And I mean, that's just pretty much, standard paintball. But when you're playing, especially when you got Brian Bortle just running around, just executing kids left and right, Brian's really stepped it up this event for sure. And, tune in next weekend, paintballaccess.com. We have the Phoenix Open coming at you from Phoenix, and Galveston Open too. It's 2 events in one. It should be pretty awesome. And you're going to see Brian Bortle and the rest of the Vicious crew playing in that event as well. But let's see if UConn can go out with a little bit of pride here. I mean, it's still, they have 4 minutes left, but with this dominant score here that Omaha is putting up, 9-1, there's really not much they can do.
No, but they're going to have to try for the next 355. Standing at that Xbox, shooting through the middle. Phil Kank dies on the break, trying to come out to the snake side again. UConn just has that shot dialed in. That's about the 5th time. Whoever their back center guy is, at least he's shooting somebody. But then they let Brian Bortle fill. See, that's the thing. You know how many times they've shot the guy on the break? About 5. You know how many times they've shot the filler? None.
0. You're none. Well, that's that you have to be thinking through every section of the game. Once you get that shot off the break, that's great. It's awesome that you're able to do that, but you have to be thinking, okay, well, what happens after that?
Yeah, it's 9-1, and we got Nicholas Trantalis over here. That's the first time that anybody on UConn has seen that bunker, the one that Brian Bortle's just been destroying them from. And now Trantalis is there, just wheeling and dealing. All the Omaha guys are just in the back chilling, making them come. So UConn trying to push up the field just to get something, but man, if they could have tried to get there earlier. Now across the 50s. Can't get shot out of their bunkers. Omaha, Brian Bortle just shooting straight at the snake, just being alive, shooting his gun. Zach Sherman in the back center.
Oh, and Brian Bortle gets taken out. And so does Zach Sherman, but Zach Sherman's swearing that he shot the Vicious player, that he shot the UConn player first, but he's going to get pulled out as well. So just 2 players left alive. Oh, now just 1 left alive.
Oh, Fluck, number 19 in the 50 snake.
Yeah, so
Tluck.
Yeah, so Tluck.
Good job, good shooting by Tluck.
And the crowd gets into it now as they see this finally 1 more point getting put on the board here with just under 2 minutes to play. So again, at this point, UConn is just playing for pride. And minute and 56 seconds left to go. Score 9-1 here as we're going to reset for this next point. Let's check out this. Check out this replay here. All right, so you're looking at Tluck. I think it's, look at it. He loses his gun, and he's like, oh, kind of need that. Wait, I'm getting shot at. Let me grab that. And we're good again. Yeah, you can lose your equipment, but actually if you leave a piece of equipment, and I think it's 10 feet, you go more than 10 feet away from your equipment, then you're going to be eliminated. You're not allowed to just drop your pack or drop your gun or drop your loader. Just can't do that. Also, another tidbit of information, if your goggles actually come off, you're eliminated.
Yeah, that's why I got these brand new events right here with this gel liner across the back of my goggle strap. Help keep it on, but you got to cinch them up tight, make sure that they stay on, don't come flying off. And yeah, you can't just be like, oh, I'm out of paint, so I'm going to take my pack off and ditch it. You know what I mean? But, so, we're looking at a 9-2 ball game over here with 2 minutes left.
Not looking good.
And it's not looking so good for UConn.
Well, if you're Omaha, Nebraska, it's looking fabulous. If you're UConn, you're kind of hanging your head right now because they've done so well at these events before. They've won the national championship before. They played with some really stellar squads. They're one of the older teams here in the NCPA, and to come out and play against, Nebraska Omaha and get destroyed like this, well, I'll tell you what, they're the first team to put 2 points on them.
Yeah, you got to look at the positives, sometimes.
Yeah. It's
sorry, UConn.
Yeah,
we're hoping that you guys, somebody out here.
I like UConn.
I like them all.
I've always enjoyed the dudes that played, like the vibe from those guys. Man, they're really hardcore dudes. They love paintball. But we'll be back right after these few messages. Here, your score 9-2 in favor of Nebraska. Matty Marshall and Todd Martinez. Do not go anywhere. All right, we are back. Score all Nebraska, 9-2. Connecticut squeaking in there with the highest score that's been put on Nebraska so far. But it's looking like University of Nebraska at Omaha is definitely going to be the favorite heading into tomorrow's competition. We still have one more game coming at you here. It's going to be University of Florida Gators, and they're going to be taking on the Florida Atlantic University Owls, the battle of the Floridians. And I actually got to speak to the FAU guys over there, and they're really looking forward to playing against the University of Florida Gators because they haven't beat them yet. So it's going to be a grudge match.
Yeah, they said they kind of run into them. You know, they want to get them back to that World Cup loss that they took. So here we go, UConn back up into the center again. Yeah, this is the third time he's been in there, and the second time he's had to turn his gun back on when he got there, you know? Yeah. You guys, preparation, you know, change your battery. If your gun keeps turning off, yeah, it's because your 9 volt's dead, bro.
Yeah, get a new one. All right, so UConn, 5 bodies alive. Nebraska, 5 bodies alive as well. You're looking at the backfield spread there for University of Nebraska Omaha, and they're all in the blue bunkers, but for them, that's not a bad thing as they lose one player, but there's just, all they need to do is just take the next minute and 10 seconds off this clock, so they don't need to play aggressive. Now, on the flip side, UConn, just to make a general statement to the collegiate paintball world that they don't like to go quietly, they need to start playing aggressive and just, you know, hey, look, okay, we may have got beat, but at least we didn't get down, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's big man number 18, Frontalis in the middle again. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't go back to that other side where he just had success. He's in that little yellow can over there on the Dorito side that I can't stand.
Yeah,
you know?
Hate that bunker.
I mean, you're a big guy like that. Come to that spot where you just, you know, shot some dudes out, open up the game for Tluck.
So just under 30 seconds to go here left in this game. Please tell me they did not concede the point. I don't know why they would do that. It has absolutely no bearing on anything whatsoever. It looks like, I want to say, did UConn concede the point to Nebraska?
They did.
Why would you do that?
And
they're going to take a timeout.
And they're going to take a timeout. Talk it over, guys. Check it out.
I mean,
man.
all right, guys, look.
We're down 8, but there's 25 seconds left. If anybody can do it, we can. We came back yesterday.
Guys, this is the type of team we are. You know, we got that Spartan chant. You know what I'm saying?
We just need to play UConn paintball right now.
Yeah. Hey, let's play Huskies paintball right now. This is manageable. 8 points, 25 seconds. We got this, you know? We've been training. We've been running 40-yard dashes.
Saying there's a chance. I want to see Tluck to the snake on the break. Run to the 50s, run to the A. Maddie, remember when we were watching in Texas before the storm came, and Aftershock was just getting penalty after penalty after penalty, and their new coach, Mike Bruno, you know, playing 3-on-5s, was sending people to all the 50s.
Yeah, these 3-on Galveston, 4 inches of rain have come down, 50-mile-an-hour winds. Aftershocks just it's a flag party out there. Referees are just throwing flags in the air for fun, pretty much. They're playing 3-on-5, and Mikey Bruno, legendary Chicagoland insane paintball player, he's their coach, and he's just sending 3 dudes against 5, send them to all 3 50s off the break. And
double A plays.
And they're making it.
Yeah, double A plays, making it, shooting people. Can't win a point 5-on-5, but
yeah,
you know, we'll run to the 50s with 3 guys and win some games.
So what are they, I mean, all right, so it looks like there's going to be another timeout as UConn spills on the field. So we got 2 more minutes to go before the action. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I think they just wanted to enjoy.
Things to do with Empire paintballs. You can paint a picture. You can paint a fence. You can paint your friend. But know that the paint will not remain, and Empire Paintball strives to reduce the impact of paintballs on the environment. Our RPS Advanced Formula Fill materials are all listed on the GRAS, Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act list, and will not negatively affect drinking water, water table, or the field environment. Shoot the best and know that Empire Paintball works hard to protect our planet.
right, we are back here. A few remaining seconds in this game. 25 seconds left to go. Nebraska pounding Connecticut 10-2. However, you are looking at the Florida Gators in their huddle, listening to the huddle speech right now, getting up for the game that they are about to play against Florida Atlantic University Owls. That's coming up directly after this match, so stick around for that. But first up, we're going to have the conclusion of this game here, and it looks like UConn, even though they're getting destroyed, is still feeling it. Hey, but that's the vibe here, man. It's college paintball, you know, no big deal. I mean, there's always next year except for the seniors, but then you can just become a super-duper ridiculous senior like Tony Costa, who's been at the University of Connecticut for 8 years.
Hey, whatever you got to do to get
Oh,
a
look
game.
at this. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, there's going to be a gross major right there. That's okay. And Omaha was ready for it. That was awesome. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Please don't concede the point, though.
Somebody conceded the point, though.
Did they really, though?
Man, those guys got their bees blown off.
Yeah, they did. Well, I mean, maybe that's why they wanted the timeout, so they could plan that play. Well, let's check out let's check out the massacre replay here. A complete bloodbath point. So starting with 5 bodies, here comes UConn, doubling up that center on the stunt, comes around from the corner, and he just starts to get obliterated. But he's like, you know what? We're losing anyway, so I'm just going to keep playing until he actually literally gets tapped out, and then Omaha just still continuing to put it on him the entire way off the field. The entire way off the field, he was just wearing paint.
I don't think he even got a clean shot, too. I think his buddy shot him in the back, and then he tripped and tried to pick up his gun with a goggle hit, and then just got annihilated. This guy's going to need a whole bottle of Windex just to get his goggles clean.
Wow. I mean, he's going to have to literally just go and dunk that in the ice bath in order to get those clean, or just replace his lenses. Hey, I'll give him props, man. Good job. Both teams, you know, obviously, University of Nebraska Omaha just slightly better than Connecticut here in this this particular game. So Nebraska is going to move on to tomorrow's competition, and next up we have University of Florida Gators going to be taking on Florida Atlantic University Owls. I'm really looking forward to that matchup because, you know, I had spoken to one of the FAU players earlier, and he was basically saying how he's really excited for them to be here. They love this event. And they're really excited to play Florida because they traditionally don't do well against them. And it's definitely a rivalry. I mean, obviously, it's 2 Florida teams here. So we're going to be watching that game coming at you next. I'm interested to see
the look on the UConn guy's face right now, you know, just being happy and enjoy this. That, I mean, as bad as they got beat, that just lets me know that they gave it their all, you know? I mean, they're you always get upset when you lose, but, I mean, they're really being good sports about it.
Yeah, that's all right. So it looks like Laura has tracked down Zach Sherman from the University of Nebraska Omaha. Laura, what's Zach got to say?
All right, well, let's find out. Zach, another big win for you guys. You continue to dominate. What do you have to say at this point as far as going throughout this tournament? Because it's almost like, hey, who's next for you guys?
I don't know. We just take one game at a time. We always focus on that next match. So we just take it one game at a time, shoot our guns, win points, you know, play paintball.
Okay, so Brian Bortle and yourself, you guys continue to be consistent. And Bortle, talk about his play today up the center again, so successful there.
I don't know, Brian just loves running up the middle, and so once we blow aside, he's just right up in there. And so it's hard for the other team to fill out, and then we just keep control from there. So.
I heard you were a little sick earlier today. Is the heat bothering you?
No. I just get nervous before matches, and I throw up sometimes.
You get nervous?
Yeah.
Even with all your experience?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I figured, like, the day I stop getting nervous is the day I don't really want to play, so.
Well, I don't know. Maybe, Maddie, can you relate to that? You ever barf before games because you're nervous?
Absolutely not.
Thank you, Zach. Good
never one time thrown up before a match. Though there's another bodily function that kind of creeps up a little bit, and I think anyone that's played paintball at a high level knows that for some reason, man, you just, you know.
See, some people get the butterflies, you know, and the butterflies they feel in their stomach. My butterflies fly in formation. You know what I mean?
Now, the pressure's the funnest part. I love that. Feeling, yeah, we definitely did. Yeah, feeling that nervous energy before a game, that's why you're about to go into a particular activity that is going to focus your mind to the exact moment in which you're living. Very, very rare thing. And we've done tons of crazy stuff over the years in order to get up before games. But regardless, that's our final here for this match. Nebraska 11, Connecticut 2, complete stomping. Do not go anywhere. We have the University of Florida Gators going to be taking on Florida Atlantic University Owls. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez and Laura McKeeman. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.